Doing the bare minimum is dead. In a world flooded by algorithms trying to cram a new trend down your throat every 10 seconds, people are craving uniqueness and creative expression that just doesn't feel like the thousands of things thrown at us on a daily basis. And you can see this in the greatest artists of our time. People like Lady Gaga, who have entire costumes, wardrobes, full-on theatrics, to Tyler, the Creator, who develops an entirely unique character for each body of work. Or even a Lana Del Rey, who goes the complete opposite direction, developing this entire artistic persona centered around romanticizing these aesthetics of the past. You live in a time where it has never been easier to be an artist. The gatekeepers have the least amount of power they've ever had, and the tools to be a successful artist are only more accessible by the day. So doing the bare minimum just doesn't cut it anymore. When you see how these rising stars are those who put so much emphasis into visual artistry and the world they create. Which is why I thought it would be interesting to do a deep dive on the history behind these artistic personas. From people like David Bowie to even modern examples like Lana Del Rey, to determine exactly how they use these sorts of visuals and fashion, hair, and makeup to create a world around a body of work. So I wanted to bring in an artist who does that in their own music themselves. Remy Bond has some of the most stunning visuals of any artist I have seen this year. Her new EP, Backstage at the Tropicana, has such a distinct world to it that mesmerized me the second I discovered her, that I wanted to dive in these themes of having an artistic persona and also just what it means to like create visuals in a music video as an artist. So without further ado, welcome back to Nikki at Night. My name is Nikki Reardon, and I could not be more excited to have Remy Bond on the show today.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited.
I'm excited, and I'm so interested to talk about like what you do. You know, it is so rare, I think, to see an artist have such a vision this early in their career, right? Like first EP. Yeah. And the way you have centered like all of these sort of music videos and this persona and you know, like leaning into the vintage aesthetics of it all. Like, I guess one, I'm really interested, you know, like before we even really like dive into like, I think this idea of like what an artistic persona is, like where did that inspiration come from for you? Like this idea of this vintage character almost.
You know, I don't know. I feel like I could count like all my references just like on my fingers. I'm a little bit of a hater.
That's okay. I love that.
I don't know. I feel like my taste and like the inspiration for the whole look and everything is just literally what I like.
Okay.
I don't like that much shit. So I feel like, I don't know. I was definitely inspired by like the 50s and the 60s, but I've never really been a fan of like movies from that period, only because I feel like just like the colorways and just like I don't know, it's a bit like dull to me. So I kind of wanted to combine that with like more tropical, like Carmen Miranda, kind of some more natural elements.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just thought, like, I was driving by, I have this neighbor, and I always rob his hibiscus bushes. And oh my God, you've never seen hibiscuses like this. They're so beautiful. And so I kind of just got inspired by his house.
Interesting. I mean, that was like also one of the things, I'm glad that you touched on that. Like, what struck me about your visuals is like, you're vintage, not in like a black and white, you know, like retro Americana
Marilyn
car
Monroe.
wash type of way, but in like a Palm Springs, like flashy neon lights type of, you know what I mean? Like there is that color and like that eccentricism into it, which I think is really, really cool.
I don't know. I love color. I'm like,
yeah,
all these umbrellas.
No, and I think that's so important. Like, again, like when we're talking about this idea of like a persona as a tool for a new artist, I think that it is what builds community in a fandom, right? Like I truly believe like one of the biggest ways to determine if an artist will be successful is, are people dressing up for their shows? Like if you are able to physically embody who the artist is and how that thing resonates with you, like through a completely different artistic medium, to me, that is the sign of like, it's cutting through to people.
No, totally.
Like literally even today, I was like looking at my closet and I was like, I wore these shoes on purpose. You know what I mean?
God, the little sakura flowers.
Yeah, but like that to me is like a very hard thing for a new artist to do on their own, right? Like to have without, you know, especially like before the record deal and before funding for a music video and like all of these resources come in, to have such a distinct vision of like, this is what I'm doing, and if you like this thing and you like this look, you will like me, and if not, it's not for you. Yeah. And also in general, like I would love to hear your take on this. Of like, I think music videos have never been more important.
I know, I agree.
Like something about all of the music discovery channels are now visual, right? Like TikTok is visual, YouTube is visual. Like we don't hear a song when we discover it for the first time, really. Like unless you're on like a New Music Friday or in the car with your friends, like you see it. You see the way something is embodied. And also there's many times I've discovered artists where I didn't even love the song or like know the song, but I was like, she's cunty.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
Like,
I'm like, wow, that's a nice video.
Right. Or I just like what you're doing, right? Like I see the vision. And I think that is such an important part of like creating this repeatable identity.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like you like take a movie and the reason that it like resonates with you emotionally is because of the song that's being paired with the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like every time, like a movie's nothing without a score. And I feel like that's kind of like a music video. And so it's just a way to like tell people like, this is why you should care about the song. Cause like, you know, otherwise how are they going to know? There's like just so many ways it could resonate with someone. And I'm like, I want to tell you how it, you know, makes me feel. And
Totally.
It makes me feel like this visual.
Yeah.
You know?
And also I love what you said too. Cause like I often think many of the best music videos aren't that complicated. They're just like a 4-minute movie of the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think people very much think of like a music video has to be this like big, massive thing all the time. Or like you watch a Beyonce music video and there's like 87
I've
back.
never seen
Which
a Beyonce
don't get me wrong, we'd all
music
love to
video.
have our own Beyonce music video. You know what I mean? But like it is some of the ones that have resonated with me to deep is exactly what you said, is it just like made me understand the thing better.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I feel like I don't really watch a lot of music videos. I just like, when I'm making a song, I usually know, like, it's the type, whatever genre the song is, or just like whatever like image I have in my mind when I'm making it. I'm just like, somehow I need to find like a storyline that I can make that into for like a music video.
Interesting.
Like we have this crazy song coming out. We just went to Japan to do the music video, and it was I saw this like swan boat on Mount Fuji, Mount Fuji, yeah, on Mount Fuji, and we flew to Japan for a wedding, but also for the music video. It was mainly for the music video. The wedding was kind of like a
bonus.
Yeah, bonus. I was like, no, guys, don't freak out. We're going to Japan because I have a wedding,
right.
Of course.
Right.
And we ended up missing a lot of the wedding because we got like stuck at this sex hotel in the countryside of Japan. But we went there for this like swan boat, and it was just like, it's literally this boat in the shape of like a swan.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to get married on that boat. And so, dude, no, we almost missed it. Like we had to fucking like hitchhike our way to like the real like takeoff point for the boat or whatever, but we made it, and it was just like this crazy moment. And I don't know, I'm getting the film back today. I hope it captured the crazy energy of that day.
And the swan boat that you had to risk it all for.
No, the swan boat is legendary now. I'm not. It's gonna haunt my dreams.
Right. I mean, I think like what's interesting, again, talking about like the visuals, the swan boat, maximalism in general, right?
Yeah.
Is like I really trace, honestly, like a lot of that influence in modern music back to David Bowie. Like I think David Bowie is really the blueprint of the modern artistic persona. When you think about, you know, the specific outfit, in the hair, in the makeup, in the way that somebody like a Harry Styles to a Lady Gaga really embodies that today, right? Like the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust is like this album where it is a story about this hyperbolized version of himself, right? Like it is this character who goes and chases their artistic dreams and becomes obsessed with fame and excess until like it ultimately kills them. And then, right? And
that's
like
beautiful.
Yeah, and it is this narrative arc based on how he feels, and like that is a real story of his life, but he is like portraying it through a character, right?
Yeah.
Like it's fiction, but like based off reality. And I think that sort of blueprint really defines the way I think about a lot of artists today, right? Like, you know, like we were talking about off camera, like a Lady Gaga is like a great example, right? Like, is she wearing a meat dress at home alone? No, right? But like that is this like mass personification of her love of extremism and taste and to challenge the status quo.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of just like being extreme, just like to be extreme. I feel like David Bowie was really intentional. You know what I mean? And it kind of just like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell when I'm like, that's just like a crazy costume you're wearing. You know what I mean? Like it's not true to you.
Right.
And like, I feel like if you're going to have a persona, like it has to be, you know, you have to be singing about some truth, even if you're like talking about like
Absolutely.
vintage motifs or whatever. Like it has to be authentic or people just aren't going to buy it.
Right. And I think that there is this like authenticity to taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even if it is like just a very fun, whimsical song that isn't super deep, like you really feel when I'm like, I can tell you're going to show up to this interview in a little blonde bob, like in a massive ponytail and flowers in your hair. You know what I mean? Like that is just like, there is this trueness to self. And I really, really agree with what you said. But then I'm interested too is like, where do you think that comes from in your work then? Because you said you didn't watch like a lot of vintage films. So like, where does this love of that aesthetic come from?
I feel like I just like have always been into like the process of like, you know, the type of camera you use. Like I've always,
interesting.
Before I even had anything like that was worth filming or worth, you know, recording, I was good at recognizing like they use this camera and that's why this is good. I'm just like, I really hate Wicked. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. I think the camera ruins it. I think it does. And I think, so the studios basically are always like competing with each other to keep up to date on like the newest equipment and stuff like that. And I feel like the same is true about like songs as well. Like I've worked with a lot of like big producers in LA and a lot of them are really similar, you know, they like use a lot of the same techniques. They just like, I don't know, I feel like I could come out with like the same song in each session. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a little bit of like a lack of originality in like the actual process of like recording the music. And so I struggle with finding people that can like really get the sound down because I don't really want it to sound like it's a song from today, even if I'm singing about stuff.
Yeah, and I also like I think that there is a lot of like perfection can ruin the song. And you know what I mean? Like
oh my God, yeah, it totally ruins.
Like sometimes feeling the way that you like hold that note or your voice like shake, you know what I mean? Like it's humanity. It's real. And something else that you said that I loved was like, you know, when talking about like technology and stuff is like, I think resourcefulness is really a skill as an artist.
Yeah.
Like that was what really impressed me about like Lana Del Rey when she first blew up. Like the fact that video games was like a home shot music video with like stock footage on a shaky camera, like made it feel more artistic than the thing with $1 million budget because you know she did it given what she had, right?
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
And it was beautiful. And like there was so much like taste in that too, right? Of like, yeah, this isn't some maximalist thing with like 100 background dancers or lighting and all that stuff. Like this is what you liked and you just figured it out yourself. And your music very much feels that way to me. You know what I mean? It's so driven by like personal passion and taste.
Yeah.
Have you ever like tried to like do any sort of like self-shot music video or anything? Like
a self-shot music video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did on like a vintage iPhone. Vintage iPhone. Oh my God, I can't believe that phrase.
Crazy sentence, yeah.
Sorry, on an older phone.
Okay.
And it kind of looked a bit like video games, and I was like, so this is just like my home movie that no one will ever see. But it was kind of pretty. It had like a vibe to it. I don't know. I feel like all of my old music videos were definitely kind of like run and gun. Like, I don't think we did clearances for anything. And we did it because we would like, oh, this is horrible. We would tell our parents we were going to college. And instead of taking the art class that they thought they signed us up for, we would use it to film a music video.
I love that. But now you're filming music videos for your job.
I know.
Like now it's your life.
My job.
It is your job.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's so fun. I can't even like call it that. But yeah, I don't know.
Love that.
Dude, I'm excited for you to see the music video. You don't even realize like the sakura is kind of a new motif that we've brought in instead of the hibiscus.
Well, I was trying, this was the closest that I had, you know, so I was trying to lean in, you know what I mean?
I need those shoes.
I literally thrifted them. I'm obsessed with them. But then like talking about like your music videos and whatnot then, and I'm interested like who are your biggest musical inspirations?
I think currently, if I had to pick, I really like TV Girl. Mainly because I like their like production. I think it has a vibe and just like it's current. You know what I mean? It's really hard to find. Like I love pop music, but I just like don't like pop music from today. So I go into a session and someone plays like a Bridget Bardot song, and I'm like, dude, like I do not want to make some like slow song like this. But then I also don't want to make like, I don't know, I'm not gonna diss on anyone, but like I don't want to, you know, make a totally like 2025 pop song.
Right.
I want to make I know I'm really into the 2010s, the 1980s.
Give me some names.
Let me think. I mean, David Bowie, Gwen Stefani. I think I'm getting a little bit of Gwen today.
For sure.
Definitely No Doubt. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in a little bit of a No Doubt era. Oh God. Oh my gosh, Supertramp is truly one of my favorite bands. I think they just like have such a specific sound. It's such like a weird vibe, like such a, I don't know, it's not kitsch. It's like, it's really deep. And just, if you like listen to the whole Breakfast in America album and I guess like their other music too, it's just like really good. Although I watched the documentary and I made Jules, this producer we work with, also watch a documentary. And they were like the most boring people I've ever seen. I was expecting to see like these like sad, like really like in their feels musicians, and they were just like hating on everything. And yeah, it almost ruined the band for me.
But that, again, I mean, it reminds me of something that you said earlier, talking about this authenticity of persona. You know what I mean? And that oftentimes music is hyperbolic, like it is an exaggeration of something, or like a very specific window into a very specific time. But what?
I was going to say Electric Light Orchestra is my favorite band right now.
I love that it came to you late.
I know.
The reason I was asking is because when I was really listening to your EP again on the way here, and like,
oh, you've heard it?
Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? I'm obsessed. But like Movie Star is ABBA.
I know.
Like,
it is kind of that vibe.
I loved it though. Like, I feel like so many people keep trying to do ABBA, but no one's actually doing ABBA in the way with like the instruments you used in the up tempo.
Yeah. Well, I would argue actually it's not very ABBA. I think it could be more ABBA, but like we didn't use a lot of like natural instruments on the song. I think the mix is a little bit like crunchy for me. It's like, but I'm like such a hater on my music. But I just like, if I was to make some adjustments to Movie Star, I would get a different live string player, and I think I would remix it a little bit. Just because like it needs to sound like warmer, you know what I mean?
Interesting. I felt it sounds abundantly warm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's infectious.
I take it back.
It's infectious. That's why it gave me that feeling of like ABBA. That's so like it's almost like a little bit like theatrical in the way that it's very like showy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you could do jazz hands to it.
Dude, you don't even want to know how many times I've gone into a session and been like, I like ABBA, and they're like ripping off "Lay All Your Love on Me." No, it's like that's like the one song, and I'm like, I send it to Jackson, who's one of my A&Rs, and he's like, you need to stop ripping off this song. I'm like, it's not me. I swear, it's not me. I don't even listen to this. I promise.
Interesting.
The reason I think I like Electric Light Orchestra now because I went through a really big ABBA phase, and they're like super classical and just like, you know, very meticulous about their melodies. Yeah. But they kind of missed out on like the synth era, and I'm like really obsessed with synths right now. So
yeah, I feel like the 80s sort of synth is having a really big moment in pop right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think,
or like I even remember like the like the way that like Good Luck Babe starts, like the dun dun dun, like that sort of type of like underlick like in a song is really like having a moment right now in a way that's fun. Or even the sort of in a different way, like I think of like the Doja Cat album is kind of the sort of like 80s, but in like the workout class type of way. You know what I mean? Like the jazzercise type.
Dude, I don't listen to enough music. I haven't heard the Doja album.
You should get into it, girl. Amen from the Doja Cat album.
Okay. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
It is. You're gonna be sad you didn't listen to it on Halloween. It's like the most like delicious Halloween song ever. Who just
came out with the Halloween album? I didn't even know that was was it Kim Petras? Someone just
she
came out
does
with a
be doing
album.
like spooky stuff. But I love any sort of like horror as a theme. Again, it's like one of the reasons I always like drawn to Gaga. I think it's like she was like one of the first people that really like, at least in the 2010s, like dipped into that like dark tone.
Yeah.
In a way that was cool.
I was really scared of her. I think she was playing like the Big Apple Circus, so random. And I like went to the gift shop, and there was like a bow, but it was like made of her hair for sale. And I was like really scared.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
I know, but now I love her.
Now you're
she's
now you're losing. Now your own extensions from Japan are about to be turned into a bow.
I miss them.
Yeah.
Fuck. I knew I should have checked the hotel room. I left my extensions in Japan.
And you know what? It's okay. You'll find new ones.
Yeah, I mean, we got to debut this new hairstyle.
That's right.
I'm kind of liking it. It's a little bit like Calendar Girl.
I was thinking more like Barbie in a way.
I'm down for that.
You know what I
Barbie,
mean? Yeah. Like the old Barbie.
The old Barbie.
Like roller skate type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see you right now. Speaking, I was interested in what you said about Movie Star and also talking about like the instrumentation. That was really what stuck out to me about like Starship Baby was like the like brass section on that song. Like it's so like rich and
I love Starship Baby. I think that's actually Starship Baby and Movie Star are definitely my favorite songs. And I feel like Summer Song has to be up there because I listen to those. Those are like my only songs I listen to a lot, I think.
Interesting. I think Starship Baby is my favorite one of yours as well. Because again, it like drew into that sort of inspiration vocally, I guess, especially in the way that it opens. That's very like Maisie Starr in that type of way and that type of like vocal sound. But then it like transitions completely into, again, like being this like very like large and like rich song that you want to jump up and down to with your friends and skip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, Starship Baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not like, I don't know. That's like the one song I think I do where it's like a good like 60s inspired song. You know what I mean? Like I think it brings, like if it was actually from the 60s, I'd be like, this is like an original like song, you know?
You don't think all of it's inspired from the 60s?
Do you? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't listen to
there's
enough
a lot of
music.
80s references and stuff in there as well, like as we discussed earlier. But
I think you're
too critical on yourself.
Like music playlist. Like I don't. I'm like if the fucking like 10 recent songs I've listened to like starts to clear, I'm like, fuck, what was that song? Like I don't know.
That's so interesting. So then, where do you feel like you draw inspiration from?
Just whatever songs I'm listening to at that moment. Like I think I'm listening to Words right now. I think I'm listening to Words right now by F.R. David because I'm just like obsessed with the like synth pattern. And I played it for a producer the other day, and he like showed me the actual synth that it was like recorded on. I freaked out a little bit, but
that's really cool.
Words, Xanadu, by Electric Light Orchestra, but the Olivia Newton-John like cut of it, I guess.
Interesting.
That's really cool.
Olivia Newton-John's like another interesting reference point.
Yeah,
because
she has like a 60s style voice, and then like kind of a similar voice to me. I mean, her voice is insane, but I think it's really helpful for me to hear like a voice that's more similar to mine on production that I'm just like obsessed with.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, that I want to talk about, Summer Song. And like, first we got to talk about like Lana Del Rey posted your song.
Dude, wait, I literally like, that did not compute with me.
Like, how did that feel? When did you notice?
I was on the street and my sister Liv, she was just like, no way. We were having a bad day, and it was really what I needed. And I just was kind of like freaking out a bit. I was crazy. Dude, it's so cool of her like to discover it like a year later.
Yeah. I love like when you see these like iconic artists that are really in the weeds of up and coming music.
Yeah.
And I feel like people think that these like big artists like aren't like that. And any conversation I've ever had with someone is like, they are in it. Like they love to discover new people and
they do.
And like see the sort of inspiration and like derivatives of like where they kind of are sonically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So no, I when I saw that I gagged. I was like, yes, the people are learning. Like,
dude, and on that like wedding post too.
Yes, how beautiful.
I know. I'm like, oh.
So wholesome.
It really is.
It's so wholesome. But where did Summer Song come from? Like, where did the idea of it?
Summer Song, I'd had the chorus melody for like forever, just like in my voice memos. And I remember we went to Paris to record it.
Interesting.
And originally the chorus was supposed to be the bridge, and it was gonna be like, real love is a dangerous game. And I was like, that is so lame. Like, I'm not singing that for a chorus. I don't know. It's just giving like lame. Like
it's giving sad.
Yeah, it was giving sad.
Yeah.
It just like, I don't know. It wasn't really making me feel much. And then we trained back to London, and I remember I was like at this like horrible hotel, and I was trying to go to sleep, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the melody. And I recorded it in my phone. And then the next day I was like, guys, what if this is the chorus? And then we made it.
And then that was it?
Yeah.
I love when that stuff like that happens.
I know. I feel like Summer Song was just such a random story. Like that song would never be able to come about if I was just like in LA in a session.
Yeah.
Because it's just like too fucking
And
random.
I think it's the importance of an artist of like I always think like the creative mind, like a sponge. And, you know, like when you're in a session, you're like wringing the sponge, right? You are trying to like get every idea out of you. And like it takes the real life experiences to like soak things up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when inspiration strikes, as like you are on some random train in Europe and you're about to go to bed. But then that is when it clicked for you because you weren't thinking about it. Like distance from the thing and like from the actual creation is what makes you remember why you were inspired to create the thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've had like so many, like even Movie Star, we wrote that in like an hour in the desert. We literally just, I had the chorus, like I was just like singing in my car and it was like movie star, movie star.
Yeah.
And then we took shrooms and we were like, wow.
That's what you do in the desert.
Yeah, I know. We were like lying down because they like hadn't kicked in yet, and we were just like really tired. And we were like, wait, like inspiration. And it took us like an hour, and we just like got the whole song down. And I mean, there's not that many lyrics, so.
And you know what? That's okay. We fix that after.
Then we were like, oh my God, we can write crazy songs on shrooms in the desert. So the next time we set an hour-long timer, and we wrote this song called "Walk Like an Angel," which.
Wow.
Some of my girls have. But yeah, I think we're redoing it a bit. But that's also a song I love. I really got to dabble in shrooms again. I got shroom poisoning when I was coming back from Europe. And it was...
You can get shroom poisoning?
It's really weird. I've gotten it twice. And it's been like every time I'm going back from Europe. And I was just
Did you get good songs out of it though?
Kind of.
Okay.
No, I was a bit too sick.
So like, is it like food poisoning? Like, do you get sick?
I think no. I took shrooms. I was also like around people that were not on shrooms, and like it was a really pop session, and I took shrooms. I was like, this is gonna like loosen me up a bit, and then I started playing like Soundgarden and like fucking like 90s rock, and I could just tell they were not vibing with it. It sounded like really like dated on their speakers, and and then I like freaked out a little bit, and then I went home and the shrooms wore off, and then I went to this spa. This was in Sweden, and I think there's something about like the sauna like reactivated the shrooms or something, because like I felt like my brain was like expanding again. And
this is tea.
This is making me sound.
I love it. No, I love it. This is great.
It's true. Don't do shrooms and then go to the spa.
I think
not a good idea.
You know what? I'm going to disagree. I think that's the best time to do it, babe. You want to talk about getting good ideas? I always get my best ideas in the shower. Now we're putting that. Yes. Something
that used to be me. You still do?
It's always, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Like I also don't dream very often. Like I have a lot of friends who get some of their best ideas from dreaming. Like I don't dream at all. For some reason, like that's the shower for me. Like it's the closest I get to this, like I'm not thinking about the world, but I'm awake. And I have this like random stimuli that I'm kind of paying attention to, and like things will randomly click.
Yeah, I think it's like driving too. Like you're not allowed
Another
to like
great
be
one.
on your phone to like jot down an idea.
Yeah.
So you're like suddenly I'm like an influx of like ideas.
And something weird about like there being this sort of mindless activity involved with it that's like stimulating you, but not requirement of like any actual creative brain power. You know what I mean? So it's like you're in this like feeling of movement and like doing things, but then it just strikes you.
I know. Dude, I'm the worst driver ever. I literally like zero brain power is used when I'm driving. I'll be like, where the fuck am I?
You ever drive somewhere and you get there and you're like, I don't remember driving here at all.
Yes.
And you're like, I could have killed someone.
Like, there's something wrong with me.
No,
Actually, I was driving my car and it was fully broken. Like there are like 1,000 things wrong with it. And I was just like, I've become a really bad driver recently. And then my dad came into town. And he drove my car and he was like, you could have killed yourself in this. Like, what the fuck? Are you an idiot? And I'm like,
parents love to do that.
Bad driver.
They love to just set you straight.
I know. It's nice though. Keep me in check.
Sometimes it's nice, but then sometimes I'm like, you know, Mom, maybe you just drive.
Do your parents visit you a lot here?
My mom does, yeah. No, I love it. She's actually, I'm going to see her in like 2 weeks. Speaking of you being on shrooms, the song Simple Girl, you say, I'm a simple girl. I love gardening and drugs.
Yes.
Care to elaborate on that at all?
I mean, I've never really done the two together, but I forget. What did I say exactly where I heard that line from?
Imagine
again?
I'm like Oprah and like, well, under your seat right now.
Dude,
We could do a little planting.
Did you get me a present?
Yeah, it's right. It's like a little flower pot and shrooms, or maybe both at the same time.
I feel like you look like you like grow your own weed or something.
I honestly kind of do.
But not as like
I look like that. I don't do it.
But because you'd be like, it needs to be like pure. Like I need to have like my own like special.
That's right. I'm like very like Erewhon with it. You know what I mean? Very like into like the natural substances and keeping it organic.
Over Erewhon. I feel like it's no.
I know. It's actually so crazy to me when like people come and visit California. Like my friends, I'm like, I'll take you to Erewhon. Like you can get your $25 smoothie. I get it. It's like exciting.
It is not exciting.
I think it's exciting if you've never done it before.
Yeah. You know what? That's true. When I was visiting LA, I was like, but I didn't know Erewhon was like a thing. I thought it was like this like secret place I discovered.
And that is, and going back to talking about like marketing and of an artist, like I think that is the power of like exclusivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the second you see something and you can't have it, it makes you want it so bad. And that's why like something like an Erewhon built a business, was that they were this thing on the internet that you can only get if you're in California. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of artists are really, really brilliant at doing that in the same way. You know, like you can think of like the classic example is like a Rihanna, right? Where it's like the peak of her fame and then she disappears for 10 years. But even going back to like a David Bowie and, you know, killing off the character Ziggy Stardust at the end of that album when it was like his most successful album, I think at the time, maybe ever, made it immortal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it just will always be what it is. And I think that's also something beautiful about like this like romanticization of vintage. You know what I mean? Of like it's not something that's like changing all the time.
Yeah, I mean the thing I like about David Bowie is that like he was always really like insecure about his like songwriting and his voice. Remember we have like the same singing teacher. He's really old.
Whoa, and, that's cool.
I know it is. I was like, he never tells me any of like the real tea though. But he was like, David was always fucking just like kind of like shy about his voice and his like lyrics and stuff. And so The Mask is not like, it feels really authentic to me and it feels really like sweet in a way because it's like his kind of like protection from like the real world and his like insecurities and stuff. And so I don't know, that's like, I really like the whole Ziggy Stardust persona.
Yeah, no, and I think that I think there's a beauty to like never being satisfied because that means that it's out of this desire to always be better. You know what I mean? And like when you hear about artists that are like literally some of the most culturally defining icons ever, like a David Bowie, you know what I mean? And to hear that person in their vocal sessions was like, I'm not good enough.
I know.
Is in one way sad, but I think also in another way beautiful that to remember that like no matter where you are in your career, you'll always feel that way. So like don't fixate on it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I know. I feel like anytime I feel like insecure about like a song or just like, I don't know, I had this like wig fiasco on tour and the wigs were like too big. I didn't like put them into perspective and they were like this high and I was like, fuck, like this feels like it doesn't feel like me. It feels like I'm actually like dressing up as like a character or something. That's why I like this hair. I feel like it's like
she's cute and casual.
Normal.
Yeah. I think she's like a, you know, your casual updo look.
My casual updo.
Your casual updo look. But speaking of hair, one of the things I would talk about is like we got to talk about this album cover. Like,
dude,
how long did it take to do that hair?
It took. So my hairstylist Lizette did it, and then this burlesque dancer Tasha also did it, and they like made it together. And I had attempted to make that wig like around Summer Song era.
Wow.
I literally just got like a bunch of wigs and I like was like hot gluing it to like cardboard. Did not look good. And so I feel like this was like one of the first things I talked about when I signed with Warner. And
interesting.
Yeah, it felt like a very full circle moment that we were able to do the wig. But it was definitely inspired by Diana Ross. And
wow.
Yeah, I wanted to see what I looked like with that much hair. I also kind of feel like it's important to have a look that isn't accessible. You know what I mean? That people can do on a smaller scale, but who the fuck is gonna like make a wig that big? I mean, some of the fans I feel like would. I feel like they would. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to make something that could be like replicated on a smaller scale. like as like a costume or just like
No, that's
on
so
tour.
that's so interesting. I love what you said about like doing a look that's not accessible, but replicable. That is like a really, like, I've never heard an artist say that, but I think you're actually so right. And like, that's kind of genius of like, there is like these pieces of it that you hold. You know, like a Sabrina has like a mini skirt or something, you know what I mean? But like,
no one can replicate a mini skirt.
well, no, they can replicate the mini skirt.
But they can't replicate
but
hers.
like the
those
custom
jewels.
Frolov heart cut out bodysuit that's like sparkled, right? Like they can't copy that.
No, totally.
There is like a clear like lineage of the thing, but it's not. And doing that with hair is very interesting. Was it like 10 different wigs glued together?
Oh my God, I think it was more than 10 different wigs.
But it's like multiple wigs in one.
Yeah, it's multiple. I'm like, I want to bring it on tour.
I was going to ask, like, what do you do with it when it's done?
Dude, it's literally in my living room.
You're lying.
I get really embarrassed when I take people over to my house because it's like just like a fucking prop shop. Like, there's no way people believe I live in my house.
You need to send me a picture of the wig in your living room to edit into this on screen right here. Like the people need to see. That's crazy.
It's the only furniture. I'm embarrassed. It's the only furniture I have. I literally like I can't afford a couch. I mean, I can afford a couch, but just when it comes time to like buy a couch, I'm like, but I could buy a nice wig. You know, like why would I buy a couch?
And that's just called priorities, babe.
Yeah,
that's called priorities, babe. It's wig first, nails second. What's third for you?
Oh my God, not nails. No one can look at my nails. My nails are
I already called you out.
Yeah.
I love that. No, I imagine the wig is like in the shape of a throne and or comes alive when you're not there in like a Toy Story situation.
Think it does, yeah. I'm a little scared of it at night. I don't go in my living room.
Like the blob too. It also like consumes more hair and like grows in power. You know what I mean?
It really does. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to bring this on tour. I don't think we are.
Yeah.
Like maybe if I slept on it or something.
But do you feel like hair is like an important part of your artistry?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've never been that like interested in like what I look like. Like I don't take a lot of pictures when I'm not like dressed like this. Like I'm just like, I look basic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like the hair, I wouldn't say it's like an armor or like a disguise or like a costume, but it's just like more interesting than my normal hair, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like I have like a dead like blonde blob on my head all the time, and then now it looks like pretty, and this is horrible for my hair actually. But
not at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I do think hair is interesting. It's like one of the few things that's like instantly symbolic of like a decade.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like you can look at clothes and that's like 70, like, you know what I mean? You see a flared pan and that's like 70s, but also can be now. But like something about hair is like one of the few things that is like immortally representative of a period of time. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like a very cool way that you use it in your work.
I mean, the way you like make culture is by like combining other cultures. And I feel like the same is like for an aesthetic, I guess. You just like I wouldn't say I directly pull like only from the 60s or just like only from one time. Like I pull from a bunch of different periods to create a new
your reality, your world building as the artist. Yeah, that's what artistry is exactly what you said. It is this combination of cultural references that make this taste profile that you sit at the middle at, both in terms of sonic inspiration, like you're talking about with the synthesizer, to 60s wig. You know what I mean? Like all of those things are the ingredients that make the recipe that is Remy Bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is like a really, really cool thing. And I love also just like, it's very fascinating to hear the way that you think about it.
Oh, thank you.
Like when you're thinking about, you know, like pulling in these elements of culture, is there any like specific thing that you feel like you're always going back to?
I mean, I guess just the hair. Like I'd never have my hair look, you know, how it does when I go to bed. Although I do sleep in this hair like for like 3 days sometimes. It stays. I have to like sleep like on my face. But no, I don't really like, I don't have Pinterest. I don't have like a playlist. Dude, wait, I seem insane. I just like don't like spend a lot of time on my phone. I also don't spend, I don't know. I just like have a few things that I really like and a few like artists that I'm fans of. And I just like read their biographies and I like, you know, I feel like I reference in a pretty like classic way. I definitely don't like take advantage of like my phone and like social media the way that I could, but I feel like I don't know. I don't want to become like really derivative of something else.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a difference between like a reference and an imitation?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are imitating me right now.
Period. What do you think is the difference?
I just think people can tell, people can tell if it's like it's okay to reference something if it feels true to you, if you're bringing like a new point of view, if you're bringing like a really good song to the era. But if you're just fucking like sticking a hibiscus on your head, or like, I don't know, fucking like some people's faces can't pull off wigs, I've found. But, you're taking a picture of yourself in a wig on like a normal phone camera or on just like, it kind of just looks silly to me.
Interesting. I mean, to me, I like what you said. Like, to me, like a reference is like, it's a part of the equation. It's not the equation itself, right? Like, that's when I think, right? Like, if like you're taking a hairstyle that's very Marilyn Monroe, and then adding in all of these elements of like color and things, right? Like, that's when something's a reference. Yeah. Whereas, like, like putting the wig on and like drawing the mole on would be an imitation. Not saying that you do that. I don't know. That was actually, like that was just like a random example that like popped into my mind. You know what I mean? Of like, I think exactly what you said, like this idea of like an artistic reference has to maintain like what is the element of them and what is the element of you, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's what the formula is.
No, I feel like three people that like do it really well are like, okay, let's say you like start with Marilyn, then you have like Madonna, then you have Gwen, then you have like Sky Ferreira. Like, to me, that's like in order of like people that have like referenced each other. I don't know how I just like pulled that. Like, I feel like that actually makes sense.
No, I love it.
Yeah. And I feel like they all like have their own like distinct version of like a look that has clearly been, parts of it have been passed down. And I feel like they're all definitely like their individual.
Totally.
Selves, but also similar.
And I think music will go through these weird phases where we get these like reference traps where like 8 different people all try to reference the same person at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I feel like in the past like 2 or 3 years, like that has been Britney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like 19 different people all trying to do Britney.
I admit I did. There's one song, but I think Addison's doing a good job of it.
Yeah, a great job of it. Yeah. But again, but when you think about Addison too, like there is so much her in there. There's so much references to her, right? Like Aquamarine is like a Disney Channel reference from 2010, right? Like it was a Disney Channel original movie. Like those are sort of things that maintain this element of her in addition to like what is clearly, the Y2K like pop star formula.
Also, you can't reference someone that's just like a generation before. Like you have to go to like your references reference. You know what I mean? And
your favorite reference.
Yeah, you gotta go deep in it. I spent a lot of time on Reddit, actually.
Really?
Yeah, people on there are really smart. They have a lot of, especially if I'm trying to find like bands and like songs. Some of the recs are like really shit, but I feel like Reddit is like very thought out. People think
the gold
before
mine.
They like open their computer and type something onto Reddit.
Totally. Yeah, like you gotta care if you're like on page 17 of like a niche subreddit, like you gotta care about the thing. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, like you gotta be an expert or like passionate to some degree. Okay, so something I always love to close out the show with, like a final question, is if there's one song from this EP that you really want the listeners to like listen to deeply and sit with the lyrics or the production, whatever that is, what is that song and why?
Orlando was a special song to me.
Okay.
I went to Orlando when I was little, and I was just like listening to my friend that loves Orlando, and she was just like talking about Orlando, and it just sounded like this wonderful place. And I kind of like the idea of writing about, this like amazing place without like actually going there.
Yeah.
And like seeing that it probably wasn't as great as she was, saying it was. But I just, Orlando's like this like fake place in my mind that's just like this escape from the real world. And I hope you feel that way when you listen to it.
No, that's beautiful. Like this romanticization of the unknown.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Like with Atlantic City and like the washed up beauty of it.
Interesting. I remember doing that with LA before I moved here. Yeah. And because I think LA became representative of, it wasn't a place, it was this physical manifestation of my hopes and dreams, right? Like, because I feel like I really like got into like stan culture through like YouTube and like YouTubers, like Jenna Marbles and like that. That was really my gateway. So that, this immortal like reference of like LA, you know what I mean? And it being this place where everyone goes to chase their dreams, I think it's like representative of what it is as opposed to like a place.
Yeah.
Remy, it was such a pleasure to have you on. I think you were
this is so fun.
I think you're so brilliant, and like the way you talked about, like my favorite quote of this thing I'm gonna think about it is talking about like all of culture is just pulling pieces of other culture. It was a bar, dude.
Oh, thank you.
So it was a pleasure, and y'all go stream Backstage at the Tropicana.
Yeah.
Get into some good new pop girl music that's gonna blow you away.
See you at the Tropicana.
See you at the Tropicana.
I'll see you at the Tropicana. You gotta wear those shoes.
I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. And we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.